opinions expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of Shaw Cable Systems or of the station. Through our access policy, we provide the opportunity for community groups and individuals to express their points of view.
You are watching Lit Happens, Saskatchewan's showcase of the literary talent of the province. This is going to be one of our more stellar episodes. I have a good feeling about it. I'd like to welcome to the show Xander Richards.
Thank you very much, Wes. Thank you.
Oh, Xander, we're just really thrilled to have you here. You're kind of a new burst of energy to the Sask literary scene. So
I'm fresh out of the authorial closet.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. Now, we're gonna get into your book Coast because I know a lot of people are really excited about it. But first, let's hear a little bit about you. Let's start with your fabulous accent. Where did you come from? How did you end up in Saskatchewan?
Well, I moved here for love. You marry a Canadian lass, that's kind of what happens.
Great.
But I grew up in the UK, in Nottinghamshire, if you've heard of Robin Hood, and I'm sure you have.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, if you've heard, he used to hide in a tree called the Major Oak, and I lived about 2 miles from there.
Wow, that's sort of a literary twist right there. Yeah, it's almost like an epiphany. And so you moved to Saskatchewan, and you obviously were working on Coast for quite some time.
Oh, yes.
And now it's just recently hit the shelves of bookstores. So I guess tell us a little bit about Coast. Tell us about the premise of the story and why you needed to get this book out there.
It all started in 1987 with an idea. And I was on holiday with a friend from the army, and we ended up in a fabulous valley in Wales, which was just dying to be a movie. And he said, well, I said, I can't remember. One of us said, can you imagine the helicopters thundering down this valley? And that was it, like that. The whole thing came out of that one idea, and over the years, I did a lot of research. The idea never went away.
Yeah.
Despite life intervening, as I'm sure you know, with the writing process.
Yeah.
The idea stayed, and eventually I said to myself, well, look, I'm in my 40s now. Either I'm going to do this or never do it. So I sat down and did it, and that's how it came to be, an awful long time later.
And I get the feeling that you've worked on Coast, the Act of Burial, for quite some time.
Yes.
How many years did you work on it?
Well, like I say, 25 years from idea to book. Actual writing, about 3 or 4 years, but a lot of that was research because I wanted it to be very, very grounded in reality. And with that kind of thing, you have to get things right. So things like Google Earth are fantastic because nowadays we have the ability to go in and look at the locations and just describe what you see. And how easy is that? That's great. What a tool for a writer.
Yes, I have to say that I think the internet has done miracles for us as writer types.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, one thing I really thought was important we talked about today was the cover. And the cover is getting a lot of attention. It's brilliant. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I can't really take any credit for it whatsoever. The cover was done by a local artist called Jonathan Earl Bowser, who is a remarkable man. Not only is he a stupendously good fine art painter, he's also an amazing musician, a writer himself. He's got his own book out called The Lotus Maiden, and he's a chef too.
Wow.
And I met him and I'm like, how can you have so much talent in just one head? He's an amazing chap. So, we made a deal. He did this incredible painting.
Yes.
And, they talk about a book being judged by its cover. I hope it is.
Well, that subject's come up a lot on the show. We shouldn't judge books by their cover, but often we do. And yeah. And I think a clever cover is always very good for any book. So I need to ask you, what's the reaction been since the story's been out?
Well, the critics have been much kinder to me than I feel I deserve. And I've had some very, very good reactions. People have actually said, is this guy for real? Was he actually there? Is this a true story? And bananas like that. And that's like, whoa, I don't deserve this. Thank you very much indeed. The only bad reaction I've had so far is a friend of mine who was a military medic in Afghanistan and Iraq tore me a new one for getting the sound of the bullets wrong.
Oh. Well, yeah, you, as another local author, I can verify you will get all kinds of reactions to your work, and that's
sure.
It's all part of the journey.
Yes, absolutely. And as you yourself said, develop a thick skin.
Yes, develop a thick skin. Now, where in Saskatchewan can viewers find this book?
Well, at the moment it's in McNally Robinson on 8th Street, Saskatoon. I'm hoping to get it in here at Indigo.
Indigo Books, where we're shooting. Yeah.
Brit Foods are selling it. They're selling it
Great.
in their stores, all their stores in Canada, in fact, which is very kind of them. But there's kind of like a British theme going on, so I guess that's to be expected.
Great.
And of course, you can find it on my website, and Amazon have got it. You can buy it for 932 rupees in India if you want. You know, it's for sale in 200 countries, which is nice. But I recommend a visit to my website. There's printed copies there. There's e-versions for every kind of e-reader you can think of. So, yeah.
And I was recently on your website, and I have to say that it's very, very clever. It's a very user-friendly website. Very well done.
Thank you very much. Again, no credit to me. That's my buddy Brian the Brain who did that, and he did a great job.
Yeah. Now, I happen to know that you have also recently embraced social media because you are active on Facebook. So I'm sure viewers can check you out there too.
Indeed, yeah. Just facebook.com/author Xander Richards.
Yeah.
We'll get you there.
Yeah. Now, we're running out of time, but I need to ask you because I can see you've got a lot of energy. You've got so much going on in that wonderful brain of yours.
I think it's the terror of appearing on television, actually, is what's doing it.
Well, I think you're doing fine. I need to ask you, what else have you got going on in your life, and what's down the road for Xander Richards?
Well, a lot of hard work at the moment, promoting this guy and trying to write the sequel. And of course, that requires a lot of research, which I'm doing gradually. More research than writing right now, but I've got the story laid out, and I'm pretty happy that it's going to come out okay. Just got to knuckle down and get typing.
Yeah. And we should throw out, that is a big part of the writing process is the research.
Yes.
Then the actual writing, and then the marketing.
Absolutely. And the last one is the one I didn't really know anything about.
Yeah.
So I got straight in the deep end.
Yeah. Well, I know we're running out of time, but I want to throw out a big thanks to you. As you mentioned before the taping that being in front of the camera wasn't exactly your comfort zone.
Indeed not.
But I think you've done quite well.
Thank you, Wes. I appreciate it. And thank you so much for having me on your show.
Thank you for being here with us today. That is all the time we have today for Lit Happens. If you enjoyed today's episode, you can see previous segments on the Shaw TV website or on my website, www.westspunk.ca. Or you can check us out on social media on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So I will see you next time on Lit Happens.